episode number 31, Smokey and the Bandit edition. That is right, Mike. There are no Dukes today, so we are dedicating a whole show to Smokey and the Bandit.
We are reviewing possibly one of the greatest movies, car movies, of all time. And there have been many, many great stories written about the eternal triumph of mankind over oppressive and evil forces. There have been. But none have been as inspiring as one Smokey and the Bandit, which is a tale of a duo of law-abiding and upstanding citizens who provide a valuable public service by transporting 400 cases of sustenance in the form of Coors beer from Texarkana, Texas to Georgia. It's 1977, and the people of Georgia were thirsty. And this thirst could not be quenched by just any combination of barley, hops, and yeast. So, a pair of long-haul truck drivers by the name of Bo Darville and Cletus Snow, aka Bandit and Snowman, set forth to provide the right beverage at the right time so that their fellow Georgians would not be parched, dehydrated, or otherwise impaired by excessively dry mouths as they went about their daily business. No. And never before has a task meant so much to so few.
How long did you spend writing this? This is amazing.
I mean, I put a little effort into this one.
There's so many words in it.
All right. So, keep it together. Now, Mr. Bandit, he does not need much motivation to help out his fellow man, but it didn't hurt that Big and Little Enos Burdett bet him $80,000 that he could not refresh the locals in under 18 hours.
Bandit, me and my son are here.
Oh, I love your suits. It must be a bear in a size 68 extra fat and a 12 dwarf.
I came to make a deal. What's he get if he wins this truck rodeo thing?
If?
$5,000, Daddy.
Chicken feed money.
Just what the heck you want anyway?
You? To get out of this dumb old rodeo and accept a real challenge.
A feat that, due to geographical limitations, had never successfully been completed before. And once the trip was underway, additional motivation was provided in the form of one Sheriff Buford T. Justice.
Hold up on that car wash, gentlemen.
A misunderstood and good-hearted lawman who was on a short road trip to bond with his young son, Junior. Buford decides to take up Bandit's cause and escort him all the way to Georgia and then safely back to Texas after delivering the load of Coors so that Buford could show Bandit the greatest monument in Texas, namely its tallest tree and shortest piece of rope.
Man.
Yeah, let me tell you, there are many heartfelt and inspiring moments during this trip. Along the way, the boys rescue a stranded hitchhiker.
Where are we going? No, don't tell me. Let me guess. We are a bride in search of a wedding.
No.
No?
There is a wedding in search of a bride. Let me put it another way. Think of it as a wedding posse in search of a bride. Do you understand that, cowboy?
Who quickly earns the name Frog for many reasons, including her ability to jump Bandit's black Trans Am over a fence. When they're nearly home, Snowman stops to improve relations between truck drivers and biker gangs with a show of Kenworth and Harley-Davidson solidarity. And in the end, Bandit and Snowman lead several officers of the law, including Buford C. Justice, who has a bit of car trouble during this epic road trip, on a cross-country parade that triumphantly ends at the rodeo, where thousands of thirsty Georgians celebrate the arrival of their much anticipated refreshments, and they all live happily ever after.
Wow.
Just my interpretation of what went down
When did you start on that? Just this morning?
20 minutes ago.
No wonder you worked in a magazine. Just alliteration. I loved it. I love so many things for it. I don't have anything that good to give you. But
Oh, sure.
I do. Stay right here. I'll be
All right.
1 minute, less than 1 minute.
You're leaving?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll be right back.
I'll entertain the people.
Just a second.
All right. So if you've seen Smokey and the Bandit, you probably know a lot of things. But did you know these following facts? Junior was played by a man named Mike Henry, who also played for the Steelers and the Rams in the National Football League. Yeah. And if you've ever seen Smokey and the Bandit, the movie, on television, most of Jackie Gleason's more dubious lines, the non-PC stuff, those are overdubbed and made less offensive by the same guy who voiced Fred Flintstone after Alan Reed died. And which is ironic because Fred Flintstone is pretty much a ripoff of Jackie Gleason's television character. Oh,
Here we go.
Oh my god, it's freaking me out.
Okay, ready to go.
Nice. You take your wife out in that?
No. In
Did it
fact,
work?
this
Oh.
stuff on my mustache is very sticky, and it's on my hands.
Okay.
now.
So you and I are both going to the Bandit Jump,
Yeah.
and you have to wear that outfit. Have to.
The shirt is pretty sweet. The headphones are a problem because I can't take my head off because that would be for one thing only.
Right.
I think I got
No headphones. You need to be wearing the hat, the stash, the shirt. Find yourself some jeans. That's how you need to go to the Bandit Jump. Because from what I understand, Burt Reynolds is going to be there.
Uh-huh.
And although he may not even recognize what you're doing, it's still worth doing.
I've got to take this hat off. Oh, jeez. There we go. I wonder if I could do this. Nope, that's no good. No, I'm hoping to go to that event. I've been texting back and forth with Oliver Keller, who is the stunt driver who's going to do the jump, and they're excited about it. They've got so many things in the works for it. I am pumped. But for this show, I thought I'd pull together a bunch of tidbits for you, and I'll bet, knowing you probably know almost all of them already, if not more. Here's some fun stuff for you. I answered a question I've always wanted to know: the black and gold theme for the Trans Am. Where did that come from? It was in GM design, starting in the 73 to 74 model year. There was Bill Mitchell, who was still there, but the guy that kind of wanted to put it together was a guy named John Chanella, and he wanted a giant bird, like big bird decal on the Trans Am. He had to get it approved by a number of people, and he knew that that Bill Mitchell liked the black and gold paint scheme from Johnny Player's Formula One cars, his Lotus cars. Have you ever seen those?
Oh yeah.
That's it. That's where the black and gold idea came from. And if you look at like a Formula One Lotus Johnny Player car, you'll see it's black with gold trim everywhere, and that's exactly what the Bandit Trans Am is. So that's where that all came from. Here's where we get to the actors. So Paul Williams, who was Little Enos, was an actor, but he was also a famous songwriter. He wrote We've Only Just Begun. He wrote a number of hits. He wrote Rainbow Connection, like Kermit the Frog sang. And he sang the lyrics to this song here.
Let it flow. It floats back to you.
He wrote the lyrics to that, I guess. But yeah, like his real money came from that stuff. Maybe even done Gilligan's Island. I'm not sure. Henry Corden was the second guy to voice Fred Flintstone. And if you see Smokey and the Bandit on TV, like half of Jackie Gleason's lines have to be dubbed out with something else. And Henry Corden, Fred Flintstone, is the guy who does it. Which, ironically enough, is from Jackie Gleason, because Fred Flintstone was patterned off of Jackie Gleason in The Honeymooners. Like almost entirely.
Stopped you. Because while you were out getting your costume on, I basically just said exactly what you just said.
Oh, did you? Well, we'll edit that out.
But it wasn't nearly as smooth as what you said.
Fred the dog was actually Burt Reynolds' personal dog. They did a dog search competition. Everybody entered their dogs, and they picked none of them and ended up using Bert's Basset Hound.
So Bert made money on the dog, on himself.
I guess he did. I guess so.
Doubling up.
I've often said that, reported incorrectly, that this was the number 2 grossing movie of 1977. According to IMDb, that's not true. It's number 3. Number 1 is Star Wars, A New Hope, which, and I think these are 1977 numbers, $460.94 million. Number 2, you have any idea what number 2 would be? It's a space-themed movie.
77?
Mm-hmm. Richard Dreyfuss is in it, I think.
Just say it.
Close Encounters.
Close Encounters.
Of the Third Kind.
I had the word kind in my head, and I couldn't. Yeah, whatever.
Stars Richard Dreyfuss.
$1,000 for me this time.
No. In fact, now we're even. No, I shouldn't say that. I still owe you. Guess who else is in it? Ralphie's mother, Melinda Dillon. She's the mom, I think, in Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Who's Ralphie?
Oh, Ralphie, the Christmas Story Ralphie.
Uriah! Y'all shoot Uriah!
Oh. Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Third grossing movie, highest grossing movie of 1977 is Smokey and the Bandit. It did about $1.5 million less than Close Encounters of the Third Kind at $126.74 million. And from what I'm told, there was a couple weekends in there, maybe when Smokey and the Bandit really was number 1 over everybody. But when that
was just a clerical error. Reason it's not official.
It should be there. Smokey and the Bandit was nominated for an Oscar for editing.
Yeah, lost out to Star Wars.
Yeah, isn't that amazing? Jerry Reed, just like you said, Jackie Gleason, who improvised like 90% of his lines, like he really did. No fooling, he did. And the scene at the choke and puke between he and Burt Reynolds.
Yeah, Diablo sandwich.
Yeah, give me a Diablo sandwich and a Dr. Pepper. There was no on-screen time with both he and Burt Reynolds, so they put that together, and that was almost all improvised too.
There you are. Keep change.
Just keep your eye out for that Mr. Bandit. Let me have a Diablo sandwich, a Dr. Pepper. Make it fast. I'm in a great big hurry. You want something?
Hush, puppy, Daddy.
We got no time for that crap.
Eastbound and down, loaded up and trucking. Are we gonna do what they say can't be done? We've got a long